Today I'm back in our glider aviary to talk to you about a different species of glider, the squirrel glider. At the time of the recording, we currently have two individuals. We have a female named Bella, who's been with us for a little while now, and unfortunately she's a permanent resident, as she was victim to a cat attack and lost her tail when she was brought into us, which means she definitely wouldn't survive out in the wild. And we also have a recent new male, who hopefully is going to get on really well with Bella, and they might be able to take part in a breeding program for this incredible species. They shouldn't be confused with flying squirrels from North America. Instead, the squirrel glider is a species endemic to Australia and can be found all the way along the east coast. They do tend to prefer to live in dry woodland, however up in Queensland they have been known to live in wet forests that border on the rainforests. A lot of the time they are mistaken for sugar gliders, which is the species I made a video about last week, but instead squirrel gliders are about twice the size and have much bushier tails and have a much more pointed face. But they do still have a very similar diet to their sugar glider cousins. Of course they are still arboreal and nocturnal, so they tend to mostly eat little insects, things like beetles and caterpillars, but have on occasion also been known to eat nectar from eucalyptus trees. Out in the wild, they have been observed to fly up to 100 meters on a downhill slope. However, on a flat terrain, it's more likely that they'll only go about 50 meters due to their much larger size. The young joeys normally stay in the pouch for around 70 days, and after this they stay in the nest with the adults and forage for food for around a month. And then by 4 months old, they're off to do their own thing out in the wild. A typical family of this species is normally one mature male and two mature females with their offspring. However, they have been observed in the wild to be in groups of up to 5 adult individuals. Unfortunately, squirrel gliders are listed as vulnerable in New South Wales and even endangered in Victoria and South Australia, so they're not doing too well. Some of their threats include lack of food due to habitat loss, and even fences made by humans. Unfortunately, in recent years they have been getting caught in fences while gliding through the air. But by far the largest threat to this species is domesticated cats. Unfortunately, in recent years there has been a huge rise of cat attacks with this species. So much so that wildlife groups here in Australia have been suggesting that cat owners keep their cats indoors at night, or at least put a bell around their neck so that these little possums can hear them and get away in time. These guys are an incredibly shy species, especially here in captivity, and it's very important with animals that you know are going to be released out into the wild that you keep your distance from them and try not to interact with them too much so they don't get too used to humans. But luckily with Bella here, we know that she's not going to be out in the wild, so she can bond with us as much as she likes.